Welcome to the Jones Life Stories, the channel where ordinary people become legends through one extraordinary moment of heart. Buckle up, because tonight I'm taking you on a journey that will shake you, break you, and rebuild your faith in humanity all over again. This is the full, unfiltered, true-life miracle of Sienna Clark, a broke single mom who had exactly 8 crumpled dollars left in the world, and chose to spend every single one of them to save a dying Hell's Angel biker nobody else would touch. What happened next? 100 roaring motorcycles, a neighborhood transformed, tears that wouldn't stop flowing, and a ripple of kindness that is still spreading today. If you stay until the end, I promise you will never look at $8 or at the stranger beside you the same way again. Let's go all the way back to the night that changed everything. It's just past 11 p.m. on a cold, quiet Tuesday. The flickering fluorescent lights of a rundown gas station on the edge of town are the only thing cutting through the darkness. Sienna Clark, 28 years old, 5'4" in worn-out sneakers with a hole in the left sole, has just finished a double shift. First 8 hours folding strangers, laundry at the laundromat for $11 an hour, then another 7 hours slinging coffee and burgers at the diner, praying the truckers tip well. Her feet scream with every step. Her back aches like someone poured fire down her spine. She is walking the 2 miles home because her car has been broken down and sitting in impound for 3 weeks. She can't even afford the tow fee, let alone the repairs. In her pocket are 8 crumpled dollar bills and some change. That $8 is sacred. It is Maya's breakfast money. Maya, her 6-year-old miracle with the big brown eyes and the asthma that flares up when the heat gets cut off because the bill is overdue. Tomorrow morning, Maya will wake up asking for cereal, and Sienna has exactly half a box left and a carton of milk that is more water than dairy. $8 means she can stop at this very gas station, grab a cheap loaf of bread, a jar of peanut butter, maybe a couple of bananas, and stretch it for 2 more days until payday. $8 is the thin line between her baby going to bed hungry and her baby going to bed with something in her belly. Sienna pushes open the grimy restroom door, splashes water on her exhausted face, and steps back into the parking lot. That's when she hears it, a wet, choking gasp that turns her blood to ice. Under the buzzing light, a mountain of a man is swaying beside a gleaming chrome Harley-Davidson. He's at least 6'3", thick gray beard, arms sleeved in faded tattoos, black leather vest covered in patches. The biggest one on his back, a grinning skull wearing a top hat with the words Hell's Angels in blood-red letters. Even Sienna, who tries to see the good in everybody, feels fear crawl up her neck. She has heard the stories. Drugs, violence, prison, stay far away. The man stumbles. His massive hand clutches his chest. His knees buckle and he crashes to the pavement like a fallen oak tree. His face drains of color, turning the gray of a corpse. His breaths come in short, desperate rasps. Then nothing. His chest stops rising. Sienna freezes. Every survival instinct screams at her, keep walking. This isn't your problem. You have a little girl waiting at the neighbor's apartment. You have rent due in 3 days and you're already $150 short. You have no safety net. Walk away. From inside the gas station, the attendant, a white guy in his mid-30s with a cigarette dangling from his lip, leans out the door and yells, "Lady, don't even think about it. That's a 1%er. You get mixed up with them, you'll regret it. Let him sleep it off, he's probably high anyway." A pickup truck pulls up to the pump. An older trucker in a baseball cap climbs out, sees the scene, and shakes his head. He walks straight over to Sienna, puts a gentle but firm hand on her arm, and says in a low voice, "Miss, listen to me. I've been on these roads 30 years. Guys like that, they're bad news. You got a kid, don't you? I can see it in your eyes. Walk away. Go home to your baby." He pats her shoulder once, gets back in his truck, and drives off without a second glance. Sienna stands alone under the flickering light with a dying man 10 feet away. She looks down at the $8 in her hand. She thinks about Maya's smile when there's actually cereal in the bowl. She thinks about the eviction notice stuck to the fridge with a magnet shaped like a sunflower. She thinks about her grandmother's voice echoing across the years. Kindness costs nothing, baby girl, and sometimes it's the only thing we got left to give. Something breaks open inside her chest. She runs not away but toward the store. She slams through the door so hard the bell almost flies off. "Call 911 right now," she shouts. The attendant rolls his eyes but picks up the phone. Sienna's eyes scan the shelves. She grabs the cheapest bottle of aspirin and a bottle of water, throws them on the counter. How much? $6.50, the guy mutters. She slaps the $8 down, every single bill, Maya's breakfast money. He hands her back $1.50 in change. She is already running. She drops to her knees on the cold concrete beside the biker. His lips are blue. His eyes are half open, glassy, unfocused. Sir, can you hear me? A faint wheeze escapes him. Heart meds forgot. His voice is barely a whisper. Sienna's phone has 1 bar and 9% battery. She tries 911, call failed. She shakes 2 aspirin into her palm, pops the water bottle open. You have to chew these, okay? Chew. She pries his jaw open gently and places the tablets on his tongue. He chews sluggishly, face twisted in pain. She tips the water bottle to his lips. He swallows. Help is coming, she says, her voice shaking but steady. Just stay with me, breathe. She places her hand on his massive shoulder, feeling the patches on his vest under her palm. His hand, surprisingly gentle, reaches up and closes around her wrist. Name, he rasps. Sienna Clark. A ghost of a smile. Sienna, you angel. Sirens finally wail in the distance. Another motorcycle roars into the lot like thunder. A younger biker, maybe 30, tall, lean, same vest, leaps off and sprints over. Hawk, oh God, Hawk. He drops beside them, face pale with terror. He looks at Sienna like she's a ghost. You helped him. He was dying, she answers simply. The young biker, Cole, she will learn later, stares at her in disbelief. People see the cut and they cross the street, every time. The ambulance screeches in. Paramedics swarm. One of them glances at Sienna. Did you give him aspirin? Yes, 2 tablets maybe 4 minutes ago. The paramedic nods sharply. That bought him the time he needed. Good call. They load Hawk onto the stretcher. As they wheel him away, he pulls the oxygen mask down just long enough to lock eyes with Sienna and mouth 2 words. Thank you. Cole stands, pulls a plain white business card from his wallet and presses it into her hand. Just a phone number and a small embroidered logo, a crown with wings. Hawk is gonna want to thank you himself. Please call tomorrow. She starts to refuse, but he cuts her off gently. Please. Something in his voice makes her nod. Sienna is left standing in the empty parking lot with $1.50 in her pocket and a heart pounding so hard she can hear it. She begins the long walk home under streetlights that flicker like they're about to give up. Every step echoes with the attendant's warning. Those guys are nothing but trouble. She wonders if she just made the biggest mistake of her life. By the time she reaches the apartment, it's almost 1 a.m. Mrs. Lane, the neighbor who watches Maya on late nights, is asleep on the couch with Maya curled against her like a kitten. Sienna wakes her gently, pays her the last $10 she, tucked away for emergencies. Now Mrs. Lane gets paid and Sienna is completely broke. She carries Maya to bed, tucks the threadbare blanket around her, kisses the soft curls on her forehead. I love you to the moon and back, baby girl, she whispers. Maya stirs. Love you more, Mommy. In the kitchen, Sienna stares at the empty cabinets. Tomorrow Maya will wake up and there will be no cereal, no milk, no bananas, no nothing. She pulls out her gratitude journal, the one thing that has kept her sane through eviction threats and shut-off notices. Every night she writes 3 things she is grateful for, no matter how bad the day. Tonight she writes. 1. Maya's sleeping safely. 2. I helped someone tonight. 3. Tomorrow is a new day. She places the mysterious business card on the nightstand, turns off the light, and cries herself to sleep. 5:00 a.m. comes cruelly early. The alarm rips her from a dream where Maya is asking why there's no food. Sienna drags herself up, splashes water on her face, and stares at the cabinets again. 1 overripe banana and 6 crackers. She splits the banana, arranges the crackers on Maya's favorite princess plate, pours a glass of water. Maya pads out in her 2 small pajamas, rubbing her eyes. Morning, Mommy. Is that breakfast? Sienna forces the biggest smile she can muster. Special breakfast today, baby, banana and crackers. Maya never complains. She just climbs up and eats every bite. There is a knock at the door, sharp, impatient. Sienna opens it to find Mrs. Johnson from next door, arms crossed, face tight with worry and anger. Sienna Clark, what in God's name did you do last night? Word is you helped one of those Hell's Angels. Child, those are criminals, drugs, guns, prison. You got Maya to think about. Sienna's stomach drops. He was dying, Mrs. Johnson. I couldn't walk away. The older woman shakes her head. Your heart is too big for your own good. Mark my words, that kindness is gonna come back and bite you. She turns and marches away. At the laundromat, Sienna folds clothes on autopilot. Jeans, towels, sheets repeat. Her mind replays Mrs. Johnson's warning until Linda, her coworker and friend, notices the dark circles under her eyes. Over break, Sienna spills the whole story. Linda listens, mouth open. Girl, you are either the bravest woman I know or the craziest. Both, Sienna whispers. During lunch, she stares at the business card. Against every instinct, she types a text. Hi, this is Sienna Clark. Cole gave me this number. Before she can delete it, she hits send. Her phone rings instantly. Unknown number. She lets it go to voicemail. The message is short. Sienna, it's Cole. Hawk wants to meet you today, Murphy's Diner on 5th, 3 p.m. Please come. Her hands shake. Linda squeezes her shoulder. Go, worst case, free pie. At 2 p.m., Sienna clocks out, takes the bus across town. As the diner comes into view, her heart stops. Dozens of motorcycles are lined up like soldiers, chrome shining in the sun. Big men in leather vests stand along the sidewalk. Women, too. They look expectant. As Sienna steps off the bus, every single one of them nods to her respectfully. One older biker actually tips his cap. Inside the diner is packed wall-to-wall with more bikers. The room falls dead silent the moment she walks in. Cole appears, smiling wide. Sienna, thank you for coming. He leads her through the crowd. As she passes, biker after biker stands up, a slow, respectful wave that brings tears to her eyes without her understanding why. In the corner, Booth sits Hawk pale but alive, an IV bruise still on his arm. He struggles to his feet when he sees her. Sienna Clark, sit please. She slides in across from him. He studies her face for a long moment. Doctor said another 3 minutes and I'd have been gone. You bought me time with aspirin and your last $8. Sienna shifts uncomfortably. Anyone would have. No, Hawk cuts her off gently. They wouldn't. Cole told me everything. 2 jobs. Little girl with asthma, walking everywhere because your car's broken. And you still spent your last money on a stranger everyone else wrote off as trash. He slides a photograph across the table. A beautiful little girl with Hawk's eyes, maybe 7 years old, smiling between him and a woman who must have been his wife. This is Lily. Leukemia. We were fundraising, but by the time we had enough, she was gone. I swore if I ever met someone who showed real kindness when they had nothing left to give, I'd move heaven and earth for them. That's you. Sienna can't speak. Hawk leans forward. Tomorrow morning, something going to happen. Don't be scared, just trust me. What kind of something? He only smiles. You'll see. That night, Sienna barely sleeps. The whole neighborhood is buzzing. Someone saw the motorcycles at the diner. Word spread like wildfire. By evening, parents are locking doors early, whispering about gangs and retaliation. Sienna kisses Maya goodnight and stares out the window, wondering if she has ruined everything. The next morning, the world explodes into sound. Deep, rumbling thunder shakes the building. Sienna bolts to the window. Her street, usually quiet except for kids playing, is filled with motorcycles as far as she can see. Hundreds of them. Black vests, chrome gleaming. Neighbors pour out of apartments in robes and pajamas, faces pale with terror. Someone is already on the phone screaming for police. Mrs. Johnson stands on her porch shouting, I told you, Sienna, I told you. Mr. Rodriguez from down the block marches over furious. You brought a gang to our street. Our children live here. Maya clings to Sienna's leg crying, Mommy, I'm scared. Sienna steps outside, heart hammering. The crowd of neighbors closes in, angry voices rising. Then Cole raises both hands and steps forward. Everybody listen, we are not here to hurt anyone. We're here because of her. He points to Sienna. 2 nights ago, this woman used her last $8, money for her baby's breakfast, to save our brother Hawk's life. Now we're here to make sure she and her little girl never have to choose between food and medicine again. A massive box truck backs into the street. The bikers start unloading. Brand new furniture, bags and bags of groceries, a flat-screen TV still in the box, a pink bicycle with streamers on the handlebars. Another truck. Clothes, shoes in Maya's size, a thick winter coat for Sienna. Another truck, school supplies, toys, a brand new bed with Disney princess sheets. Neighbors stand frozen as Hawk himself walks forward slowly, still favoring his chest. He faces the crowd. I know what you see, he says, voice steady. The bikes, the patches, the tattoos, you see monsters, that's fair. But this woman, he gestures to Sienna. She didn't see any of that. She saw a human being dying on the ground and she spent her last dime to save him. That's the kind of person your neighbor is. That's the kind of world my little girl Lily deserved. We're trying to build it one family at a time. He turns to Sienna and hands her an envelope. Inside, a check for $25,000 made out to Sienna Clark, and a letter on official letterhead offering her a full-time job, community outreach coordinator for Lily's legacy nonprofit. $52,000 a year. Full medical, dental, vision. 401k. Paid vacation. Starting in 2 weeks. Another set of keys, her car, towed from impound, fully repaired, sitting around the corner with a full tank of gas. Sienna's legs give out. She sinks to the pavement sobbing. Maya kneels beside her. Mommy, why are you crying? Happy tears, baby, the happiest tears. The neighbors, minutes ago ready to run or fight, watch in stunned silence as bikers carry furniture up the stairs. Then something beautiful happens. Mr. Rodriguez steps forward, wipes his eyes, and picks up a box of groceries. Where you want this, ma'am? Mrs. Johnson takes charge like a general. Careful with that dresser, second door on the left. A young mother who had locked her kids inside now sends them out with cookies for the bikers. Fear melts into wonder, wonder into community. By noon, the apartment is transformed. New couch, new table, full refrigerator, full pantry. Maya's room looking like a page from a catalog. Hawk sits with Sienna on the new couch. The job is real, he says. We get hundreds of applications every month, single moms drowning, veterans on the street, seniors choosing between medicine and food. I need someone who's been there. Someone who can look another human in the eye and see their heart. That's you. He opens blueprints. And we're breaking ground next month on a community center right here in this neighborhood. Food bank, job training, after-school programs, free clinic. We're calling it Clark House. Sienna shakes her head through fresh tears. You can't name it after me. Already did, Hawk smiles. That afternoon, they walk 3 doors down to Mrs. Patterson's apartment. The elderly widow Sienna has been worried about for months. She's been cutting her heart pills in half to make them last. Hawk listens to her story, makes 1 phone call, and a 3-month supply is delivered within the hour, free. Mrs. Patterson holds Sienna's hand and whispers, You sent angels to my door, child. 6 months fly by in a blur of miracles. The viral video of 100 Hell's Angels rolling up to a poor neighborhood spreads like wildfire. At first, the comments are brutal. Gang propaganda. Staged. Don't trust bikers. Sienna reads them and cries. But then the families Lily's legacy helped start posting their own stories. A veteran in Ohio who got a service dog. A little boy in Atlanta who received the bone marrow transplant he needed. A grandmother in Detroit whose house was saved from foreclosure. The tide turns. Lily's legacy trends worldwide. Donations pour in. Clark House rises from an empty lot, bright murals on the walls, a playground where kids laugh instead of worry. On opening day, Sienna and Maya cut the ribbon together. Inside, computers for job training, shelves stocked with food, tutors helping kids with homework, a nurse practitioner giving free checkups. 43 families walk through the doors that first day. 43 walk out with hope. Sienna's new life is busier than she ever imagined, but for the first time it's the good kind of busy. She visits homes, listens to stories that break her heart, then watches those same families light up when help arrives. She hires people she once helped. Marcus, the veteran, now runs the job training program. Rosa, the single mom, teaches parenting classes. They pay it forward every single day. 1 year to the day after that night at the gas station, Clark House hosts the anniversary celebration. The room overflows, bikers in their vests, grandmas in Sunday hats, kids running wild with balloons. Sienna steps to the microphone, looks out at hundreds of faces, and tells the story one more time, from the $8 to the 800 lives touched in the last 12 months. When she finishes, the room erupts. Maya runs to hug her legs. Afterward, a young woman approaches Emily, tears streaming. You helped my mom with her cancer treatment last year. She's in remission. You saved her life. They hold each other and cry. Mrs. Johnson, now head volunteer at the front desk, pulls Sienna aside. Baby, I was wrong that morning. You didn't just save Hawk. You saved all of us. You taught this old woman how to see people. That night, Sienna walks home the long way, past the gas station where it all began. The plaque is still there. Here, a small act of kindness changed everything. The attendant who once told her to walk away now waves sheepishly when he sees her. She waves back and smiles. A block later, she spots a young man sitting on the curb beside a broken-down car, head in his hands. She stops. "You okay?" He looks up, eyes red. "Car died. I'm supposed to pick my son up from daycare in 20 minutes and I don't have money for a tow." Sienna reaches into her purse, pulls out $50 and presses it into his hand. "Get your little boy." He stares at the money like it's gold. I don't even know you." She hands him a Lily's Legacy card. "You do now. When you're back on your feet, help somebody else. That's how it works." She walks away smiling, the circle complete. A year ago, she was the one with nothing. Tonight, she is the one giving everything. And that, family, is the true story of Sienna Clark and $8 that shook the world. Hear what I need you to hear today. You don't need $1,000,000 to be somebody's miracle. You don't need a cape or a crown. Sometimes all it takes is $8 or a smile or 30 seconds of courage when everyone else looks away. There is a Sienna near you right now struggling in silence. There is a Hawk near you that the world has already written off. Will you be the one who sees them? If this story lit even a tiny fire in your soul, do 3 things for the Jones life stories right now. 1. Hit that like button. Let the algorithm know kindness still wins. 2. Comment below one time that kindness changed your life. I read every single one. 3. Subscribe and ring that bell, because every week we bring you another true story that proves good people are still out there fighting the darkness. And then, go be somebody's miracle today. Share this video with someone who needs to remember that one small act can change everything. Thank you for spending your time with the Jones Life Stories family. Keep choosing kindness. Keep shining your light. I'll see you in the next one. God bless you.